Ready?
Yes.
Sustain! Nutrition. Let it rain.
Oh, you make it rain.
Joe! Fidgeting. What are we talking about?
201. Body types. And the correct nutrition for said body types. So
Said body types.
people often say, what should I eat? And then we always say, it depends. It depends if you are tall and thin, short and fat.
Big and round. We love you all.
Yeah, exactly. You're equally worthless in our eyes.
Or a combination.
So this is where you're looking at ectomorphs, tall and thin, endomorphs, who are stockier, usually a bit shorter,
Oh, not tall.
or mesomorphs, who are the athletic types.
The really annoying ones.
Yeah. Who can kind of eat what they want and do whatever they like. I don't know, that's not you. Most people tend to fall into one of those three. You'll be predominantly one of those, or you can be a mixture of the two. You can change, and that will basically affect the nutrients that your body works best with.
Yeah, it'll kind of dictate what you should eat and basically how you should train as well, slightly as well. So you can be a slight combination of both. I'd say I'm more. I'd say I'm about 80% endomorph, maybe 20% mesomorph, definitely 0% ectomorph.
You saw me age 16, you said 100% ecto, and unfortunately, puberty was kind to me, I got a bit bigger, so a bit more mesomorph. Some that's, you can change these things as well, so, I hit the weights quite hard from 15 through to 25 and managed to put
Finally got some gains.
managed to put a little bit of mass. So it doesn't, just because you are tall and thin or shorter and broader doesn't mean that tends to be that will set your limits. Mo Farah is never going to be a strongman. He's going to be a pretty good runner though. So you have to kind of work within your genetics set. That doesn't mean you can't push the limits. There's always going to be more you can do.
Indeed, and if you enjoy running marathons for whatever sick reason, then you could go for it. You just won't be as suited as, say, like an ectomorph is. So like I said, for me as a mesomorph, I need to eat a lot of protein and quite high fat as well for my energies. I don't cope with carbohydrates very well. Because I just tend to eat weight, as in body fat, quite easily. But then I do stick muscle on as well, kind of easily, but then it comes with a bit of body fat, and that's where I have to be careful.
Yeah,
with my training wise.
That's an endomorph. Sorry, so fats for endomorphs, carbs for ectomorphs as a rule, and then mesomorphs can kind of run off whatever they like. It tends to do quite well on carbs.
Yeah.
You tend to find because it's faster acting, they tend to do better with it. The ectomorphs again can kind of run off anything. They tend to need a lot, but they do seem to function better off the carbs. You can also look at like your heritage. So you think about what your ancestry may have eaten.
You can do your family tree.
Yeah, then you can also kind of work it out from there. So, I've done it before, looking at people with a client from Morocco and seeing kind of the foods that her kind of ancestry may have eaten and giving that a go. Now, it's no guarantee, but it can be a starting point, and often just judge it on how you feel. If you eat something and you feel like crap, then it's probably a sign that your body doesn't deal that well with it. People say, there's no such thing as gluten intolerance. Well, the thing I documented the other day was when I ate bread, it was affecting my breathing. So
that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, whether or not I have a gluten.
But it's wholemeal.
Yeah, it's so healthy, and I'm breathing like an asthmatic. Then be sensible with it and listen to your body.
And that's it. As Joe just said, they're kind of chasing your heritage. Like on an extreme level, if you went and looked at, say, like Eskimos, they'll just eat a lot of protein and a lot of fats, and they won't eat any fruit and they won't eat any vegetables because you can't find it in the ice, I imagine. So then if you brought them over here and you said you have to eat 6 servings of grains a day and 5 servings of fruit and veg a day and this and that, then they're just going to get sick. They're not going to be able to cope with that food. They're going to be like, I felt perfect just eating whale blubber and whatever else, the walrus teeth soup. You know what I mean? And because that is what their bodies have evolved doing. And on the same tack, people who just choose to go vegetarian generally will struggle with it. Whereas you go over to India where people in generations and generations have been, vegetarians, their body is kind of made up to cope with that, so they'll be able to deal with being the vegetarian diet much easier than kind of someone just goes, I've seen a documentary, I'm going to be vegetarian, which there's nothing wrong with.
I think the thing with on that note is that the human body is essentially the same. It needs protein, fats and carbs, and often the easiest thing for vegetarians to do is go into a very high carb diet. So if you are, like we said, an endomorph vegetarian, then you're going to struggle on it because your body functions better by having a higher fat diet. So just consuming those carb foods, lentils, quinoa, beans, things like that, and you are going to struggle because you're not really getting the fats that maybe your body, your specific body needs. So keep that in mind when you're planning your diet. And if you feel like crap, then try something different. So many people just go, that's just the way it is. Well, it's not. That's the reason you feel like crap is because the food you're eating, odds on. So try something different.
Yes, which is why you shouldn't really follow someone else's nutrition. So like I said, if I ate what Joe eats, then I just get really, really fat.
If I ate what James ate, I'd be really, really hungry. So
there you go.
It's just one of those things. You have to find what works for you.
Indeed. So Facebook, Sustain Nutrition. Twitter, Instagram.
Sustain_Nutri.
Website.
SustainNutrition.co.uk.
Log on, get some recipes, read the blogs, sign up.
Oh, loads of good stuff on there now.
It's all going on.
I don't even feel like it's a sham.